This is Ryan with GameRoomSolutions.com, and I'm excited to show you guys our new 27-inch arcade cabinet kit. This kit supports either a Pandora's box that you can just do as a drop-in, or also you can get a standard arcade control panel with this. Again, fits a 27-inch monitor, full cam lock system, so it goes together easy. Towards the middle end of this video, we'll show you how to assemble it. Comes with T-molding, comes with the riser. We just constantly always get asked, do you have a cabinet? Can I take my Pandora and just put it in? So that's what we built this cabinet specifically for. We can theme it to your Pandora, or you can pick anything from our site that we can theme or work with our designers to design something up. Again, this is just kind of a show off here and quick assembly video. Make sure and hit the like button and we'll get started. Alright, so let's get this put together. I have graphics on this, so I went ahead and put down some cardboard or put down a towel or a blanket or something to protect those. Put all of the cam screws in. Everywhere there's a hole. There'll be some little guide holes for the two back door close catches back there. So make sure and put those on. We're just going to start at the top here and work our way down, and I'll talk through each piece. So I put the top two pieces in here. You can see they're the ones with the slots. Went ahead and locked in the cams. On this right here, this cabinet's made where it can accept a 14:9 monitor if you want to do a digital marquee, or you'll just put the plex, the two pieces of plex in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and put in normal plex since I'm going to set this up with the Pandora. But you can put a secondary monitor in here if you're running a Windows system or Raspberry Pi or whatever, and you want a digital marquee. So those two pieces are in. We'll keep going. All right, so the next two pieces here is just a SPAC piece. It'll have the T-molding facing the back of the cabinet. I went ahead and put some lights in here because I'm going to light up the marquees, so I could have moved them a little bit closer. So I just went ahead and put the lights on. I also taped down the connector here because as you plug it in, if it starts to pull, that way it won't pull these lights off. It just gives it a little bit more sturdiness there. Put the two speakers in. I just ran some cable for here for now because I'm going to figure out where I want to put the amp later. So I will go ahead and do the monitor and start working through the control panel. Okay, so I went ahead and put the monitor in. I just used a couple screws. That's all you need for these light TVs. But basically, I just kind of ballpark line that up. I'll adjust it a lot more later on where this goes to the bezel. But I went ahead and put the bezel in, put the monitor there. Go ahead and run your HDMI cable and your power cord. Just let them hang down. That'll make it easier later to hook it up. So let's talk through the control panels and go around there. Okay, so again, there's a couple options here for control panels. You can get a standard control panel from us. So this is basically just a 27-inch mid-size cabinet. And you can, it's optional to get the trackball or not get the trackball. You know, you have the two players. Or you can get the one that has where the Pandora's box can just drop right in so it looks integrated. I'm going to do the Pandora's box for this build because we've done, you can check out any of our videos to see how this would go. But I did want to show kind of what that panel would look like if you just want a larger cabinet and monitor. This is what it would look like to put your own controls in, or the controls in our kits in, as opposed to just this piece. The only thing on these is the T-moldings in the front, and then I got to put my little clip here. So that way when it closes, it's going to kind of lock in shut. You'll still be able to lift it up out of the clip, but at least when you're playing, it won't come up on you. So I'm going to put the clip in and go ahead and put this front board in right here, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I put this little thin bezel support board, or the monitor plex support board in. Then I have the control panel in. Again, this will be a drop-in for the Pandora. You can see I have the clip and then the clip on this front panel. I also opted for the USB cuts, so you can have that cut or not have that cut. You just select it whenever you order. So I have those in. I'm going to put it in the bottom of the control panel in the front now. Okay, so I went ahead and put in the bottom control panel piece right there. You guys can see that. The front and then the bottom. The bottom's one, this is where the bolts will go through to bolt into the riser. And then there's plenty of room to go into the riser if you want to run a computer or something down there. Show you guys the front. So that looks good. I'm going to put in one more piece here and the two back doors and then the side, and this thing's built. Okay, so real quick, I put this back piece on. It comes with the switch socket cut, so I went ahead and wired one up to my power strip, so that way I can just flip the switch and do that. So now it's just the two back doors. I'll put those on. We'll talk through that and put on the other side. Okay, so I put both these back doors on there. The key to this is go ahead and lock in that cam lock down there, and then also go ahead and lock in one of the sides. The problem is the clip on the other side, when you try to put on the right side, that's going to get in the way. So you want to slightly open this door like an inch or so you put the other side on, and then push the back door in and push it into the clip. But the key is, do not crack that open unless you have support underneath. So you can see how I'm doing on a table there. This is not how you want it done, because it could break that cam. If you lean this door off, it could just fall off. Now if both cams are in on both sides, you're good. You won't have any problem. But just this one little cam down here isn't really strong to hold it. So I'm going to push this table out, push the unit forward, slightly pull both these doors open by about an inch, and then put the other side on. So I'll go ahead and put the other side on. Basically, I'm just going to start it at the top. Well, I guess I'll show you guys the Marquee real quick. So I have the Marquee print right here. I'm just going to put that sandwich that in between the two pieces of plex that come with it. Slide the plex into this groove. And then I'll just go ahead and start kind of at the top or at the bottom, and slowly work in, lining up everything that you need to as you put the other side on. Lock up the cams and it's done. All right, so this thing looks awesome. Just to quickly show you this before we do the riser and put it all together, but you can see how flush and how great that Pandora looks in there. Looks like an integrated unit. So that's that. Let's do the riser and get it all put together. Okay, so this riser just takes a couple minutes to go together. Put all the cam screws in the two sides. This, where the cam's not as close to the top, that's the top, as opposed to the bottom is right on it. So that's how you know your left from your right as you put it together to make sure it works. So here's the back. It's going to have two cams just like this. This is for support boards. So go ahead and put those two support boards on the back first. And then what we're going to do is take the front. This is the top of the front. I'm going to take that, put it on here and tighten this up. Go ahead and turn it on its side when you do that so there's support. Don't just hang this top one up here. I'm just doing this so you guys can see it. So essentially, I'm going to put this board, the two support boards, and that together. And I'm going to pick this unit up and just set it on the side. So let me go ahead and get to that point and I'll show you. Okay, so attach the front to the support boards, and then I set them down on the side. Just make sure that my left and right is the same, so it doesn't really matter which side I put it on. If yours is different, you'll either set it down like this or you'll set it down the other way, depending on if this is the right or the left board. You'll see whenever you get there. But this is the top. The support boards are going to hold the top piece that sits in right there. I left that up a little bit so you guys could see it. But essentially, you'll pick up those two parts and bring it down on the sides, put it on the cams, and tighten it up. So it's kind of an ABC to get it to go together, but it's really quick, and it's super sturdy once it's together. So I'm going to go ahead and put the top and bottom board, show you guys that, and then put the side on. Okay, so I slid the top piece in. It's the piece that you'll see that the bolts will come through to bolt it down to the... it's just a wing nut and a bolt that comes through for the machine whenever it sits on there. So I slid that in, did those two cams, did the bottom as well, and did those two cams. So you can see now I can just easily put the side on. I can reach in this huge hole, which is in the back, lock up all the cams, and that's done. This just takes a minute or so to do. Okay, so you can see I just got this turned on. It was super simple, obviously, since everything's in the Pandora. It's just really hooking up a couple cables. So this is all working exactly as you expect. The nice thing too, again, is that this control panel will open. I put my amp right there, so I just have to open that, and it's super easy for me to adjust volume if I need to. Again, this locks into place. You saw I had to pull a little bit to get that up. That way it's really good for playing. The two USB ports in the front that I could plug into that if I wanted to. I just want to come around the back. It's a little bit messy back here, but just to show you guys. So there's my speakers plugged in. But I want to show you on this Pandora, see, you have perfect access to all the connections for it easily from here. So that's pretty much it. Again, you don't have to do a Pandora with this cabinet. It's just an option. That's why I picked the 27-inch screen again, because it's like perfect size to fit with this. But it looks great. So integrated solution. So a lot of you guys that have already bought one of these off Amazon or whatever, and you're like, man, I wish I could just put it in a cabinet. Here it is. Goes together quick and easy. You guys saw that. Make sure and like the video. And thanks.